you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk about things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. I am an intuitive reader, a manifesting coach, a Reiki practitioner, and a life path guide and mentor, here to help you along your awakening journey so that you can co-create the life of your dreams. And in my mentorship program, in this video, I want to give you like a sneak peek of what really goes on in the mentorship, because it's way more than what I talk about on my channel and what happens in my readings. And I actually just did a healing session with a friend of mine, and she reflected back to me. She's like, Michelle, what you offer is so much more than what you're sharing. And people need to know what really goes on behind the scenes in your sessions. Because I had given her a reading and she was just like, this is crazy. I didn't even know that this all existed. And her mind was just blown. So I figured, you know what, maybe I'll give a little sneak peek of what happens in my mentorship. So I also made a list of 5 things you need to know about the universe. So we're going to go over those too. And they are kind of like a combination of what I teach. And one of the first things I have on my list is the first thing you need to know about the universe is that everything is here to help you. So when a client is coming to me and they are having a problem in their life, or maybe there's just all this chaos, or maybe there's nothing wrong and they just watch my channel and they're like, something told me to reach out to you. Deep down, I tell them that there's something inside of them that needs to level up. And they knew it. And that's why the universe brought me to them, or brought them to my channel. So the first thing I teach them is that everything is here to help us. Everything is showing us where we are blocked. So in manifestation and on our spiritual journey, it's an uncovering, it's an unfolding. That's why I created one of my decks. It's called the Ever Unfolding Heart, because our heart is so calloused over by all of the trauma and all the pain and all of the conditioning. And when you join a mentorship with a coach, you are uncovering, you're delayering and peeling off everything that is not you. And I went through this for 7 years with my mentor. Every month, still to this day, I text her or call her and I'm like, hey, I need another session, because I'm still uncovering stuff from my childhood. I just had a conversation with my mom last night, and she told me that when I was 5 years old, I witnessed a fight between her and my dad. And I like went into school and told somebody because I was scared. And I had gone to a medium years ago, and she was like, what happened to you when you were 5 years old? And I had no memory of it. And my mom just confirmed it last night. She apologized. She's like, I'm so sorry you had to see all of that. And these new awakenings are happening. And me and my mom have these great conversations now where it's okay for us to talk about it. But where before, I always saw her as the villain in my journey, but now I'm seeing both sides of my parents' story, and I'm just neutral. I love them both and I thank them both. So in the mentorship, when I talk about everything is here for us, even that situation at me at 5 years old, witnessing a fight and then going and telling my teacher because I was scared, that was here for me in some way. That was shaping me. That was teaching me something, because now I am helping other clients become aware of what has happened in their past and how that is the blockage. We might not know that it's there until life brings it to us through a conversation with our mom on a random Tuesday night. And then the awareness is there, and then we can heal it, and then we can revise it and go back to our past and not pretend like it didn't happen, but just rewire ourselves and say, it's okay now. I can protect myself. I can tell my 5-year-old Michelle that she's safe now. And this is the type of work we do. It's not just, me giving you a bunch of manifestation methods and having you practice them and seeing what comes in. It is a complete unfolding of who you are. I am helping you become more of who you came here to be. And what's on top of that heart, that beautiful heart of yours, is all of that conditioning, all of those things that you saw that maybe you don't even remember that you saw. And that comes through in our sessions. I get messages, I get downloads, I give them to you. You see how it feels in your body. Then you have downloads and your spiritual gifts start to open. So it's a really magical place to be when you're working with a healer or a mentor, because you get to see this version of you that you didn't even know existed inside of you. So the second thing that I like to teach is that breakdown and chaos are good. Okay, so if you're experiencing breakdown in your life and you're experiencing chaos, well, it's kind of like the first thing, it's here for you. The universe might be kind of like smacking you on the wrist a couple times, trying to wake you up, saying, hey, you're creating this chaos, you're creating this breakdown because there's a layer of you that still believes you're not worthy of receiving whatever it is you want. So you keep attracting the same painful situations because you're not seeing that you're the root. And then in the mentorship, we get to, well, what is the root? If I'm the root, then where did that come from? That came from childhood as well. So we have to go back and figure out, okay, where did I see abandonment or where did I see rejection? And how can I go back and nurture myself and rewire those beliefs? So everything comes back to childhood and the beliefs that were created in that situation when you saw that thing, when you heard that thing, when someone diminished you, and then we figure out that root and then we pull it out, and now you get to live life without that experience weighing you down. Okay, so the first thing you need to know about the universe is everything is here for you. Our reality is everything because it is showing us where we're not healed. Okay, so everything is here for us, every situation. And then the second piece is breakdown and chaos are good. Okay, because they're literally guiding us to the root of what's holding us back from living our best life. Okay, the third thing you need to know about the universe is that it's always wanting to take you on a date. It's always wanting to take you to new people, to new destinations. And it is such a fine, fine line where people don't go. You know, the universe brings them an offer and they don't see it and they pass right by it. You know, for example, one of my clients, she hopped on Zoom and she just was like, I don't know. I just kept hearing this voice that I needed to book a session. And because I asked her, I said, hey, what guided you to book this? Are you looking for answers? She's like, not really. I just felt the urge to connect with you. That's the universe wanting to take you on a date. It's wanting to take you to something that you can't quite see yet. You don't know what you need from this destination, from this person, from this experience, but it knows and it wants to take you there to shower you with love. So once my client and I did that session, a week later, she was like, I want to do the mentorship. I now know why I was guided to you. I need this. I'm in, I'm down. Let's do it. And I was like, yes. And that's why she was brought to me, because the universe knew that she needed this weekly guidance to get her in alignment. Okay. When your soul turns on and it's ready to take action to move towards your mission, people show up, you get nudges, and the universe wants to take you on specific dates to see people, to go places. And we have to listen. We have to follow that little nudge inside of us that says, I don't know why I want to do this, but I want to do it. Always take action on those thoughts. Okay, the last two are very, very basic, but so incredibly powerful. So the fourth one is whatever you are feeling is what you're attracting. And a lot of us are so disconnected from our bodies and we don't even know what we feel. We walk through life and we're not in our body. We're not feeling our body. My one mentorship client, I told her to talk to me about how she feels when she goes to her gym, and then talk to me about how she feels when she went to a restaurant with a friend. And we were talking about how when she's in certain environments, she has certain thoughts. And I was teaching her that pretend like there's this jar, right? This is going to be really good, you guys. So take notes on this. When you're a sensitive being and when you're trying to read a room, or if you're trying to understand if something is your energy or somebody else's energy, and this is really important to master this on the spiritual journey because you have to learn discernment. You have to learn what's yours and what's not yours. So the way we practice this is we make sure that we're in a clear state before going somewhere. Right? So we've been alone, we've been secluded, we've been in nature, we're fully cleansed energetically. We don't have any kind of like anxiety or fear. And then we take our vessel, our body, and then we go to a restaurant and we sit in the restaurant and we just sense, what am I feeling in my body? What thoughts am I having? So this is a big piece. It's not just how your body feels, but it's like what thoughts are getting activated. So pretend like you have a jar inside of your body, right? And the lid is on the jar. And that jar is filled with all of your insecurities and all of your fears. Well, when you enter certain environments that have a frequency of fear, or have a frequency of worry, or have a frequency of just like a low vibration, guess what happens to that jar? The lid pops off and all of your fears and all of your insecurities start coming up and you start thinking these thoughts. Now, before you got to that place, were you thinking those thoughts? No. So now you're in that environment and you're thinking those thoughts and it's making your time there not great and it feels like it's ruined, and you're thinking something is wrong with you. You're thinking this is your problem. And now we're realizing, oh my gosh, it's just the frequency of that place. If it's a restaurant, it's a low vibration there. Maybe there's a ton of alcohol there. Maybe a lot of people are drinking. If you go anywhere where there's a lot of alcohol, you are walking into a dark cloud. It is a low, low, low vibration. So that jar is going to be opened immediately, and all of your fears are going to surface because that's what low vibrations do. They try to smother you with dark thoughts. So when you can identify, oh, I just went to this place and it doesn't feel good. I'm having all of those same thoughts again. They're not mine, they're mine, but there's no reason why I should be thinking them. Does that make sense? It's like the jar just gets opened and it's that low vibration is pushing all of your sensitive spots and making you think thoughts about your finances, about your love life, about everything that's going wrong in your life. And 5 minutes ago, you weren't thinking those thoughts. That's when you know it's not yours, even though the thoughts are yours, but something has activated and pushed that sensitive button in you. Now, this can happen with a TV show. This can happen with a movie, with Netflix, with music. You can listen to something and it might have a low vibration, and you might find yourself thinking negative thoughts for the next 2 hours. So becoming hyper vigilant and aware of, wow, I was feeling really good before I went somewhere, and then I left having all of this fear. It's not your fear. It is the frequency of the energy that you were just in, and now you've taken it with you. And that's why cleansing your energy is so good. And I have a whole course. It's just one module, really short, really sweet. Everything's in the description box below, but I teach you how to cleanse your energy and how to learn discernment from that. Okay. And when we understand that what we are feeling is what we are attracting, now that you know this, your thoughts and feelings are basically what you're manifesting. So imagine if you didn't have this awareness and you keep going to these places and seeing these people and you never cleanse your energy. Now you're just going to keep attracting more fear, more chaos. But when you're aware of this, you can go into those places and project your light. You don't have to protect it, you project it. You see the fearful thoughts and you don't listen to them. You realize that they just opened up the jar, and you can close it yourself. And you can say, I'm not going to think that right now. I feel like I'm in a low vibration. I really want to be here because I want to hang out with my friends, and this is where they hang out. So I'm just going to be here. Or you can choose to leave if you don't have to stay in that environment. You do what's best for you. But if you don't have a cleansing routine and you're not very good at that, then I would leave, because you're now putting yourself into this environment consciously and saying, I want to feel a low vibration for the next few hours. Okay. So you have to learn to manage your energy, because what you are feeling is what you are creating. If you're not creating good in your life, it might be because you're going to all of these environments that hold a low vibration, and it's not your truth. They're not your fears. They're just activating your old fears, and it's just a replay. It's a tape on replay, and it just keeps going. It's a wheel. Okay, so become super aware of the environments that you're in and how you feel and what thoughts get activated. And this can happen around certain people at the grocery store. You could be in your family member's home, and all of a sudden you start to have this fear about not being good enough. You're like, wait, these aren't my thoughts. It's my thought about me not being good enough, but I don't normally feel that way about myself. You might be around somebody that is feeling that way about themselves. Okay, so we are very sensitive, energetic beings. We can pick up these things, and we have to be aware of, who am I when I'm by myself? What are my fears? Am I feeling okay today? And then when you go somewhere else, pay attention to what surfaces. Okay, the fifth and final thing that I teach in my mentorship that you need to know about the universe is that we must be in the creator bubble. And I did a whole video on this. I'll link it here. But we have to be creating every single day. We have to set an intention of what we want. We cannot just be reacting to our reality. We have to see our reality and go, oh man, I created this chaos, or I created this peacefulness. Let me celebrate myself. But if it's chaos, then we uncreate it. We move out of the reactor bubble and we go into the void. We go into the blank bubble and we say, okay, I'm not going to think negative thoughts anymore. I'm realizing that momentum has been going in the wrong direction and I want to change it. So now I'm going to be the creator. I'm going to set an intention on what I want to create. And that's going to be every night before bed and every morning when I wake up. I'm telling the universe what I want. And I teach my mentorship clients that this can work with your kids. This can work with family members. You know, I have one mentorship client where her and her daughter are really struggling and she wants to have a better bond with her. So I told my client, I said, I need you before bed to imagine your daughter coming and snuggling with you. Imagine your son doing that. Imagine your daughter being honest with you and wanting to talk to you, and just see the person, set the intention of what you want. Because if you don't know what it's going to look like in your desire, the universe doesn't know how to bring that to you. So you have to create it in your imagination. So it's really powerful to do this with people. You can imagine people saying certain things. If you have somebody that's really negative in your life, go to bed each night and imagine them being more positive. I guarantee you within 2 weeks, they will change. If you keep your intention on it, whatever you focus on grows. So if you set an intention for somebody to be different, and you keep seeing them being different, and you keep seeing your job being a wonderful place to be, and there's no more chaos, and you're not getting called in for extra time or overtime or whatever it is that you don't like, and you start to imagine the best case scenario, I'm telling you, what you focus on grows. It will happen and people will change. I've seen it in my own life and it works. Okay, so don't forget these 5 tips that you need to know about the universe. Everything is here to help you. Breakdown and chaos are good. The universe wants to take you on a date. What you are feeling, you are attracting. And if you're not setting an intention, then the universe doesn't know what to give you. So we have to be in that creator bubble. All right, lovies, if you need help on your journey, everything's in the description box below. I do one-on-one readings. I do one-on-one coaching. I do my 8-week mentorship with women, and it is fabulous. I help them get on their way, and I teach them the laws of the universe, and I teach them how life is really working for them and how amazing they really are. Most of these women that hop on these Zooms, nobody's telling them that they're doing a great job. They don't know if they're far along on their journey or if they're behind. Normally the ego tells them they're not doing enough. And then I'm there to say, hey, you are well beyond most, and you needed to hear that, because that motivates you. It gives you the courage and the confidence to keep going. Okay, so if you need that support in your life, please reach out. We cannot do this alone. I had a mentor for 7 years on my spiritual awakening journey, and I needed her. She transformed me. She helped me see that everything is still here for me, even when I'm creating chaos, because we all do it every once in a while, and it's a quick little slap on the wrist to get back in alignment. All right, lovies, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.